In 1982, a new sitcom opened its doors in Boston and made Where Everybody Knows Your Name an American anthem. Cheers became a cornerstone of television history, transforming its cast into icons. But after 4 decades, what really happened to the people behind Sam, Diane, Coach, and the rest? Their stories, from headline-making fame to private heartbreak and reinvention, reveal what time does to legends. Here is where they are now, and the choices that shaped everything that came after. Ted Danson stepped into the role of Sam Malone in 1982 and never looked back. Over 11 seasons and 275 episodes, he anchored Cheers as the charming, flawed ex-ball player who ran Boston's most welcoming bar. Audiences watched him grow from sitcom newcomer to the face of a television phenomenon, earning 2 Emmys and 2 Golden Globes along the way. When Cheers finally closed its doors in 1993, Danson did not fade into memory. He simply found new stages. He led the medical comedy Becker for 6 seasons, brought a sharp edge to CSY, and kept surprising critics with roles in projects like Curb Your Enthusiasm and The Good Place. Through it all, Danson balanced a relentless work schedule with his personal life, marrying Oscar winner Mary Steenburgen in 1995. Decades later, at 78, he remains active, still taking on projects that keep his name in the enduring spotlight. For Danson, Cheers was never just a chapter. It was the foundation for a career that shows no sign of slowing down. Shelley Long lit up Cheers as Diane Chambers for 110 episodes, bringing sharp wit and a touch of chaos to the bar's daily rhythm. In 1983, just a year after the show began, she won an Emmy for her performance, proof that her blend of comedy and vulnerability struck a chord with audiences and critics alike. By 1987, at the height of her fame, Long made a decision that stunned both Hollywood and her castmates. She walked away from one of television's biggest hits. The move was bold, driven by a desire to break into film and to shape her own creative path beyond the walls of Cheers. Projects like The Money Pit and Troop Beverly Hills followed, but none captured the lightning-in-a-bottle magic of Diane. Long's absence changed the show's chemistry and opened the door for new faces, yet she never fully left the story behind. In 1993, she returned for the series finale, closing the loop on a character who had become part of TV history. Now, 75, Long lives quietly, far from the spotlight, having traded the noise of fame for a private life. Her choice remains a rare example of walking away at the top and letting the world wonder what might have been. Kirstie Alley arrived at Cheers in 1987, stepping into the role of Rebecca Howe, just as Shelley Long's departure left a gap at the center of the show. Alley's character brought a new kind of energy, ambitious, often unraveling under pressure, and determined to prove herself in a bar full of big personalities. Over 165 episodes, she became a mainstay, helping the series not only survive, but thrive through its final 6 seasons. Ratings held strong, and in 1991, Alley earned an Emmy for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Comedy Series, cementing her place in television history. Off-screen, fame carried its own weight. Alley's public struggles with her health and her outspoken beliefs sometimes drew as much attention as her work. Yet her comedic timing and willingness to play Rebecca's flaws for laughs kept audiences invested until the very end. When Alley died on December 5, 2022, at the age of 71, tributes poured in from her former castmates and fans. The 2023 Emmys honored her with a portrait, a reminder of the lasting impact she had, both on Cheers and on everyone who watched her grow into the role that defined her career. Rhea Perlman poured heart and grit into Carla Tortelli for every single one of Cheers' 275 episodes. As the wisecracking waitress with a sharp tongue and a soft spot for her rowdy brood, Perlman built a character that felt both larger than life and completely real. Her work didn't just earn laughs, it made history. Between 1984 and 1989, Perlman took home 4 Emmys for Outstanding Supporting Actress, racking up 10 nominations in total. No other Cheers star matched that run. Even after the bar closed, she kept finding new stages and screens. Decades later, at 78, Perlman was still in demand, stealing scenes as the wise old woman in the 2023 blockbuster Barbie. She has never stopped working, never faded from view. For Perlman, longevity isn't about reinvention or chasing headlines, it's about showing up season after season and letting the work speak for itself. John Ratzenberger carved out a space on Cheers as Cliff Clavin, the know-it-all mailman, appearing in all 275 episodes from 1982 to 1993. While Cliff's trivia and postal wisdom became a running joke, Ratzenberger's real reinvention came after the bar closed. He found a second act in animation, lending his voice to a remarkable streak of 22 Pixar films, starting with Ham the Piggy Bank in Toy Story and continuing through Onward. This made him a kind of good luck charm for the studio, his voice instantly familiar to generations of moviegoers. Ratzenberger, now 78, still attends conventions and keeps busy with voice work and memorabilia projects. Away from the mic, he is known for his outspoken conservative activism, but in Hollywood, his legacy is built on sustainability, turning a sitcom sidekick into animation royalty and proving there is more than one way to stay in the spotlight. Every sitcom has its rituals, but few ever matched the power of a single word: Norm. For 275 episodes, George Wendt's entrance as Norm Peterson sparked a roar of recognition, turning a simple walk to the bar into an event fans anticipated every week. The audience's shout was not scripted. It grew from genuine affection in the studio, repeated so faithfully that it became part of the show's DNA. Wendt, who joined Cheers at age 34, earned 6 Emmy nominations for a role built on warmth, timing, and the art of the understated comeback. Even after the final round in 1993, he kept the spirit alive on stage, with Broadway runs in Hairspray and regional theater tours, and he reunited with castmates for anniversary specials and conventions. Wendt passed away in May 2025 at the age of 76, but his legacy echoes in every barroom greeting and every laugh that follows a familiar name. Kelsey Grammer joined Cheers in 1984 as Dr. Frasier Crane, a role meant to last only a handful of episodes. Instead, his sharp delivery and offbeat charm carried him through 204 episodes, transforming Frasier from a background character into one of television's most enduring creations. When Cheers ended, Grammer didn't just continue, he expanded the universe. Frasier spun off in 1993, running for 11 seasons and collecting 37 Emmys, including 4 for Grammer himself. Decades later, he returned to the role once again, headlining the 2023 Paramount Plus revival at age 71. No other sitcom character has anchored this many episodes across multiple series, let alone stayed relevant for over 40 years. Grammer's run as Frasier Crane stands as a rare achievement in television, a single character evolving, adapting, and thriving through changing eras, with the actor still at the center of it all. Woody Harrelson joined Cheers in 1985, stepping in as Woody Boyd, the wide-eyed, earnest bartender from Indiana. He was just 24 when he filmed his first episode, and over the next 200 episodes, his goofy innocence and perfect timing brought a fresh spark to the bar. In 1989, Harrelson took home an Emmy for Outstanding Supporting Actor, but that was just the beginning. After Cheers, he broke out of the sitcom mold, landing roles in films like White Men Can't Jump, Natural Born Killers, and The People vs. Larry Flynt. 3 Oscar nominations followed, each one proof that the kid from Cheers had become a heavyweight in Hollywood. Off-screen, Harrelson became just as well known for his activism, championing environmental causes and speaking out on everything from hemp legalization to vaccine skepticism. Now, 65, he is still working, still outspoken, and still surprising everyone who once knew him as the lovable bartender with the big heart. Nicholas Colasanto brought warmth and heart to Cheers as Coach Ernie Pantuso, appearing in 74 episodes from 1982 until his sudden death on February 12, 1985. Off-screen, his health had been fragile, with years of heart disease quietly shadowing his work. When he passed away at age 61, the loss rippled through the cast and crew, leaving a space that was impossible to fill in the same way. In tribute, the producers kept a black-and-white photo of Geronimo, Colasanto's own personal good luck charm, on the set, tucked into Sam Malone's office. That image stayed on the wall for every remaining episode, a silent nod to the man who helped shape the show's early spirit. After Coach's passing, the writers introduced Woody Boyd, whose wide-eyed innocence echoed Colasanto's gentle presence, ensuring that a piece of Coach would always remain at the bar. 40 years on, the cast's lives remind us that fame fades, but impact endures. Their stories of reinvention, loss, and lasting connection mirror our own need for belonging. Nostalgia isn't just memory. It's proof these characters still shape how we laugh, mourn, and come together. What still resonates for you?